Alright everybody, hello and welcome back. Episode 2. Thank you to everybody that went and watched episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Most of the feedback's been really positive, so hopefully you guys are keen to get this series up and running just as much as I am, which is why you guys are kind of getting a bonus midweek episode this week. You should expect 2 episodes a week. I'm going to throw a third one in this week just because I'm super excited and super keen to be getting through as many seasons as possible and start getting towards some of the top divisions. Now, we have played quite a few games since we last spoke to each other, which of course means that we've got a whole bunch that we need to recap, so we're not going to waste too much time today. We're going to jump straight in and see how we've gotten on. So first and foremost, as you guys can see above my head here, currently sitting top of the division, 21 games played plus 10 goal difference and 37 points, Felder United. Mind-boggling to think that we took over and they were bottom of the division at that particular time. You see this list here. We've been on a really good run since. So the first game that you guys actually saw was this 5-2 defeat against Johor DT in the FA Cup third round. And then since then, we've gone on a really good run. Only 1 defeat during that period in the league itself. 9 wins during that period as well, a couple of draws here or there. The 1 defeat was to Kelantan United. It was a game that really could have gone either way, I feel. They got the victory in the end. Some of our depth has been tested at various points. You guys saw, I think, last time out, just how short our squad was, and then we weren't actually in a transfer window. So even like the short-term signings that I was looking to make, I couldn't actually get in until a couple of weeks ago. But the squad is looking much tidier now. As you can see, we're kind of back up to like 21, 22 players. There are some big depth issues in quite a few different locations like this. And you can see suspensions, injuries starting to happen throughout the course of the season. We do have one last game in the league season to hopefully secure promotion up to the Malaysian Super League. I haven't quite decided yet if I'm going to keep going with Felder United or if I'm going to start looking at additional jobs, but we might talk about that further at the end. And then looking at our schedule, we've also got a Malaysia Cup Group C game. So I actually don't know what got us into the Malaysia Cup at all. But as far as I can see, in our group at least, we are the only Premier League side. All the other 3 are Super League teams, so it's going to be very interesting to see how we measure up. And we've got a bit of a revenge mission. You guys saw us play Johor DT earlier on this week. We're going to play their second team as the final game of the Premier League season to hopefully get a win and secure a league title. You can see it's a breezy 34 degrees Celsius, which is absolutely mental. And then we're also going to play the first team for Johor DT in the Cup itself. Now, they have gone and absolutely destroyed the Malaysian Super League this year. They've 11 points clear, already declared as champions, have been for a couple of weeks. Very, very good side. It'll be interesting to see, I think, how we've kind of improved a little bit in like the 2-3 months since we last played them. I'm hopeful that we'll do a little bit better, but again, if we go out and get beaten again, that's fine. It's more of a measuring stick as to where we want to finish and where we want to get throughout the course of the season. Now, looking around, just to keep you guys occupied, ZB Kuju is still a job I've applied for. I'm not sure why I can't remove that advert from there or like withdraw my application. They still don't have a manager. I'm not sure what the story is. I think it's glitched out in that respect. But there are some first division and senior sides that we want to look at. So Bali United over in Indonesia, that job is up and running. I don't think that's a step up, to be completely honest. Kashmir in the Indian National Premier League, I don't think that's really a step up either, to be completely honest. And then Dongwu over in China, that would be a second division team, but albeit a very more lucrative club. You can see they've got a few international players, stuff like that. They're offering quite a bit in terms of our wages as well. So that could be something to keep an eye on. We might go through, play these 2 games and then have a look if anything's changed there. I won't leave Felder. Like, I won't go to be unemployed. I don't think that's the way I want to do it. But what I am going to do is keep an eye on some top flight jobs in other countries. I kind of want to use it as a stepping stone. Potentially, we maybe go to like a higher division club or one of the more like Super League stable clubs, one of the teams that's got like a big wage that's actually challenging for the title. Someone like Johor would be a good example of that in Malaysia, and then springboard that to a bigger club in or bigger country within the Asian market to go after that Champions League. Or potentially just leave Malaysia entirely and go and try and find a first top flight division club in another country that could potentially get us a little bit closer to league titles a little bit earlier in the season. But I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stick with it until I get another job offer. I'm not going to worry too much about like going and being unemployed or anything like that. I don't think that's going to help my case in any way. And even if it did, I'd really just be taking over another squad, I think, that is down towards the relegation spot. So what we want to do is try and secure top flight football. And then if we aren't going into a new role, into the new season, we at least have a Super League campaign to get underway and really try and get ourselves back amongst the elite of teams in Malaysia. And I think a full off season is going to be huge for us as well. and tremendously helpful. But this is the lineup that we're going to go with. Hashimuddin in goal, our sweeper keeper on attack. We played this 4-2-3-1 kind of gegenpressing, kind of just aggressive attacking style throughout the course of the year. We've got both the attacking style and then also the possession-based style. So far, it has worked incredibly well trying to keep possession. We're still not great in a few areas. You can see there's a few 2-star and 1-star players still out there on the park, but the spine that we've kept together is relatively strong and has been playing pretty well so far this season. Velez has been huge for us. Raspopovic has been huge. And I've got to give credit to guys like Hashimuddin and Kechik who've just filled in at various points for us throughout the course of the season. A couple of starters that would be involved. Jamaluddin would play and hopefully he gets back for the second game. We probably also have Fauzi out there at right back if he were available. But we're going to continue. We're going to work our way through and hopefully you guys are going to get to see a bit of an improvement in the team to last time out. We should go out and spank this side given that it is the reserve side for Johor, but they are very quickly becoming like our main rivals in this save, and I think as one of the biggest clubs in Malaysia, really the team that we're looking to beat and replicate and kind of measure ourselves against each and every week. So they're going to be playing a 4-3-3. It'd be interesting to see if they do that for both their reserve side and their senior side. We're of course playing the 4-2-3-1 that you've already seen. Our leading scorer Bobby Gonzalez on the left wing there as an inside forward. You can see Velez as our leading or highest average rated player for the season. UKM and Sarawak are the teams that are looking to leapfrog us on the final day of the season. I don't think we have to worry about any of the other teams due to goal difference, but we need to try and get off to an early lead because Sembilan, you can see, already up against Polis, and it would see them go above us on goal difference. Now Sarawak has also taken a lead, so very important that we get the 3 points today. Otherwise, it's a proper bottle job to the league title. Through 30 minutes, no highlights either side. We're going to use demand more, and we've immediately got a highlight here. What have we got happening? Velez works it well from the throw, back to Mod Isa, who took it on the right-hand side. Beats one man, tries to hang a ball up. It wasn't a bad effort. I think it was Azar who got the final touch on it, but Nadsley, I think that name is, in goal for the opposition, does relatively well. Long ball forward here as well. Rosley comes forward left-hand side. Ball towards back stick. Good header away by Mod Isa. Now your Tim can come forward for us. There is a counter-attacking opportunity here. We've got a few men around him if he can keep possession. Back to Idris, our ball-winning midfielder. Ball over the top for Azar. Can he find the finish? He's hit the post and then they scramble it away. So finally we are getting some highlights. Throw in though here on the right-hand side for Johor. Good header away. Raspopovic is excellent out of the air. Velez goes to close down, but they've managed to keep possession. Now wide left. Back to Matt Shahs. Hasn't got much of an angle to work with, but he's found a finish. Hashimuddin beaten at his near post, which has been an ongoing issue throughout the course of this series. I'm not going to lie. And definitely throughout the course of this season. He doesn't do his posts that good a job. And credit to him, it's a good finish. But again, I just don't think the angles were quite there from the side. And we'll now have to come from behind if you want to get anything. But at least this sorts out our halftime team talk. Let's focus on the positive. If we go in at halftime, I know exactly what we need to do to try and turn the result around. So at halftime, we go in a goal down. We're going to jump into the dressing room. We are going to not throw the water bottle. We're going to go thrash arms. I'm far from pleased. Everybody seems motivated. And we're also going to make a tactical adjustment. We're going to go to that possession-based style, play a little bit deeper, play with the ball a bit more, try and coax them out. And we're really, I think, going to give it another 15 minutes before we look at any subs or changes. But let's see what sort of response we get immediately off the bat. This would see us drop down to third spot, which would be very frustrating, I feel. I think we've been done really well to jump back up to the top of the table. Hashimuddin, ball forward from the goal kick here. Your Tim's there, but it's going to land at Roslan, the left back for Johor. Ball across here. Mod Isa has gone through the back of him, and I think we're going to go down to 10 men here. Just judging by the animation, it is. They're saying that he went in from behind. That's not great. All right, so how are we going to adjust this? Let's go back to our attacking structure. Let's take off our forward Azar and play Velez up top. Azar, a different Azar will come in at right back. Let's also make a couple of changes. So Gonzalez hasn't played particularly well. I'll bring on Irfan to replace him. The same Mazlan hasn't had that great a game either. So Sik Zambil will come on at centre-back. I've told them they've had faith and they all seem motivated, which is great. We didn't get that, I think, at any point throughout the St. Pauli series. I'm going to throw in a demand more shout here as well. Good switch out to the left-hand side. Now a deep ball in towards Derriman. It's a good header and thankfully Hashimuddin equal to it. Saves and holds. So we're just going to have to go after it a little bit here. Velez with a lovely header cushions it down for Irfan. Can we immediately get something back here after the red card? Can we move it out to the right-hand side? It's a poor ball, but Idris is going to recover in midfield. Long one towards Velez. It's pinballing around. Zambul, the fresh sub. First real chance for him to get on the ball. Which way is this highlight going to go? I can't really tell at the moment. Irfan, good cut inside there from the inside forward. Can switch it out to the right. He had your Tim there, but he takes a little bit too much time. Velos has found goal side though, and he's brought it down and found the finish. So we get an immediate response out of everyone despite going a man down. And that tweak getting Velos up top might help us out quite a bit if he can continue to get good supply. So you see here, Irfan with a lovely run, just keeps possession very intelligently. Idris with a long ball forward. Not a high percentage ball, but Velos, they let it bounce and the keeper just stops on his 6-yard box, and all Velos has to do is poke that one home into the back of an empty net. We restore parity. That doesn't put us above the other teams in the division based on goal difference. We need to try and get the 3 points entirely, which is going to be tough as 10 men. Balling behind here, Raspopovic will recover. Plays a 1-2 with Idris, who can now turn in midfield. Long ball forward towards Velez. No one challenges. It's him. Now Azar. Back into midfield. Ketchik's there. We need a little bit more out of him. Switch is poor. Irfan's going to win it back now. Velez can beat a man in the dribble. He's coming forward on the left-hand side. What can he do? It's a pretty wild drive, to be fair. Well beyond the far post. But I'm going to throw a little bit of praise their way, maybe. No, let's go demand more. With about 20 minutes remaining in the match. We need to find a winner if we're any chance of winning the league title this season. And we've got a deep throw in here on the right-hand side. Yatim finds Azar. Can he find the cut back? It's a ball into the channel. Velez is going to get there again. Can he get it back on his left foot and find the finish? He can indeed. What a finish that is. And we are getting absolutely bailed out by our Argentine superstar. This has not been a good performance. We've been up against it as 10 men, but we have managed to turn it around just a little bit. 2 long balls forward. I don't care. It's agricultural football at its best. He does incredibly well. He's left-footed, don't forget. Not much of a right. Gets it back on that side. The defense drops to near post, and he just curls that one into the top corner. That is absolutely magnificent for him. Now, we're going to make that tactical tweak. Let's go to our possession-based style. Let's just try and keep the ball a little bit now, lads, for the last few minutes. And let's see if we can't close out a decent result. I'm going to hit demand more. And we're going to see if everybody can just find their focus. And this would see us win the title by 2 points. But they've got a corner here. Backery towards back stick. And it's just hit the side netting. For a second there, I panicked. We did have a man on the post, thankfully. There's 5 additional minutes to be added on. Are we on our way to a league title? They've got a throw in a deep area. It's cleared, but it's only going to go as far as their central defense. Long ball forward. Raspopovic will win that one all day. Velez now can turn. Ketchik in midfield. Out wide left to Irfan, who's come off the bench. Into Velez. Can he try and make it a hat-trick late on in the game? Gets into the box. It's a good save from Nadzil. Now just keep it in this half, boys. 4 minutes or 3.5 minutes by the time we take this kick. That's all we need. Sembalan have actually been pegged back. It's 4-4 in their game. So that would count them out regardless of the result here. But we have to hold on for the last few minutes, and it's going to be very tense in extra time. We've got to throw in again now on the right-hand side. Our right back's picked up a knock, who just came on the park. Can he get a good ball in the box towards Velez? Flick on header just over the crossbar as well. Another goal would seal it, but I don't think I'm going to be comfortable until we see them with the trophy. That's going to be the challenge. And at full time, a 2-1 come from behind victory as 10 men. Absolutely fantastic. And we lift the Premier League on the final day of the season. Didn't have the best goal difference, but they did have some heavy defeats before we took over. Sembalam won their game 5-4. Sarawak won their game 3-1. So thank goodness we actually turned that result around. Well, that would have been a bottle job. I don't know how to say bottle job in Malaysian, but I would definitely try and figure it out. Velez, magnificent, 8.7 match rating. We win the Premier League, which means we'll go up into the Super League next season. We've got budgets and stuff. We'll have to figure out what that actually means. And in the mix-up brings Felder United. So the first trophy of the series comes very, very early, but it's not a top-flight title. It doesn't lead to continental qualification, and that's what the Pentagon Challenge is all about. So we're not going to worry too much. We are, through the magic of editing, going to jump forward. We've got 14 full days before the match against Johor in the Malaysian Cup. Magic of editing, though, we're going to jump forward to that one now. All right, so jumping forward 14 days. Now, we have also got, this time out now, the Premier League champions playing off against the Super League champions. Don't forget, Super League is the top division. Premier League, for whatever reason, is not the premier at all in the country. Couple of changes we're going to make. Jamaluddin comes back in midfield. It does mean we can play Ketchik a little bit further forward. Still not 100% convincing as a right winger, but you can see he's up to 2.5 stars, which is very impressive given that he was like half a star at the start of the season. I'm going to bring Zamri in as well as the pressing forward up front. He has been arguably one of our best players this season, the 21-year-old. Star-wise hasn't quite improved, but he does have good link-up play, particularly with Velez. But if we do need to, we have got Azar on the bench, or Velez, as you saw in the last game, to devastating effect, can move up top. Now, if you remember back to the last episode, we did actually do better in the second half playing this possession style, so I'm going to go with that from the off, and we're going to see how we go against Johor. But effectively, this is almost like, I don't know, if I was going to say the Community Shield, but it's not like that because the Championship team doesn't play the Premier League team. But it is something like that with the 2 Premiership and Super League winners facing off. It's going to be very interesting. Some huge teams. And some huge players. This front three, Cabrera, Velasquez, and Herrera, we're going to have to keep an eye on those three. They're their main international players. And I think it was Cabrera that did the damage last time out, getting a few goals. 5-2 was the mark back then in this style. Let's see if we can't set down a better result today. Ball in here for Johor. It's headed away well. We've defended it not too badly. Idris with a good win. Now Zamri. What can we do on the counter-attack? Kechik, wide right area. Can put Velez into a great space. Can he get it back on his left foot? It's a strike from distance, but it was pretty tame effort. I think Marlius in the Johor goal would have had it covered. Be interesting to see as well the difference between the two Johor sides. Their second division team, their reserve side, and this Premier Division team, Super League team as well. I assume the depth is going to be tested quite a bit. Hashamuddin, all the way back to him now. Waits for the midfielder to commit. Kechik with the ball now for us. Raspopovic, Mazlan, it's a long ball forward, which wasn't quite on, to be honest. And they do give it straight back to us, thankfully. Saruki with a great ball into Zamri in the channel. Can he get there first ahead of the defender? And he did, but I think even then the shot was going wide before the centre-back cleared it away. Issa, throw in, deep on the right-hand side. Kechik now. Issa towards Zamri, and we've managed to put that one home. Mood Saya Zamri, the player that we brought in up front 9 minutes in, has gotten a lovely little header from that worked throw-in routine. And it's decent. Kechik does very well. Gets it back to Issa, hangs the ball towards back stick, and Zamri, he's not the biggest player in the world, but he's done well just to peel off the shoulder of the defence between the fullback and the centre-back and power that header home. Now can we hold on to that result heading into the rest of this first half? Corner for Johor here. Nico Fernandez with the ball in. It's headed away. Kechik gets there at the edge of the area, but I tell you what, that strike out of nothing from distance took Hashimuddin by surprise, clips the base of the post out for the goal kick, and the highlight's going to continue here. Long one forward in midfield. Velez is there. Lets it run. Can he get it back on his left foot again? Skips past one challenge. Can he find the finish? He can indeed. We are 2-0 up against the Super League champions. I don't know how this is happening because, to be honest, Johor on paper have a much, much better side, but maybe we're just in a better run of form. We have had a couple of good results. It's been a while since we've tasted defeat as well. And Velez, that deadly left foot, slides at home. Thankfully, we've got him on contract again next season, as we do for Raspopovic. I'll have to have a look in the Super League how the different foreigner rules change. But so far, this team looks like it could potentially do quite well in the higher division. We're just going to demand more with a couple minutes remaining in the half. We just want to try and get everyone out there keeping focus. And as things stand, this would put us top of the group. Penang and Terengganu, the other two sides playing off against each other, both Super League sides as well. And at half-time, 2-0 up. Wonderful stuff from the team. We are just going to say, I'm very pleased with the performance, lads. Keep it going. And then I think we'll give it 15 minutes, unless they score immediately here before we make any tactical switches. Zamri flicks the ball on. He's going to get another chance at it. Davies, the fullback, who I think is an ex-Perth Glory player for A-League fans. Mazlan, long ball forward towards Zamri, lets it run over his shoulder. Can he find the finish here? Wide right area, it's good a save, and it goes out for the corner kick. But decent little return there. We've done quite well. Now Velez toward the edge of the area. Jamaluddin does very well, gets it back across, but Marlius just watches it sail beyond the far post. All right, we're through the 60-minute mark, so we're going to hit pause and we're going to make changes. I'm just going to go based on player conditioning. And you know what? Player conditioning looks pretty good at the moment because we're playing this more passive style. So let's go on match rating. Sukri Aloni, he's got a yellow card, so I'm going to take him off just in case. Gonzalez hasn't played particularly well, so Irfan will come on again. And Jamaluddin not having the greatest game either. We might bring him on and we'll swap Kechik back into the base of midfield. And let's just tell them we've got faith in them. Two of them seem motivated, which is great. And we are going to hit demand more at the same time. Velez, deep free kick here towards back stick. He wants to try and pick out Raspopovic at those scenarios. He's kept the ball in here. Back across to Idris. Now Issa. All the way back to Hashamuddin. Wait for the press to come before you release the ball, please, keeper. He does indeed. Back to Mod Issa. Raspopovic. It's a poor ball forward, to be honest. Could leave us in a difficult scenario. Cabrera, Velasquez, Herrera, they're all starting to combine now. They're international talent. The switch is poor. It falls to Herrera again. Fernandez, Manson, Velasquez, wide left area, getting into the 18-yard box. It's a hell of a strike, it must be said. Makes it 2-1, and there is just that element of danger here at the moment where they only really need a half chance. This is an excellent finish. You can see Herrera on the ball there. Fernandez, Mansour, reverse pass to Velasquez. He just rolls the defender, Mod Issa, and that is a hell of a strike on his left foot, back across the keeper and high into the far corner. A wonderful effort. No further highlights as we get into the last 10 minutes. I'm just going to use the demand more shout. Let's see if we can't get some sort of focus out of the guys for the last few minutes and hold on to this lead. There is a throw-in. It's in our possession. Wide right area into Velez. Ball forward towards Zamory. He loses out and they've just punted a ball over the top. Herrera is onside. Can he find the finish? He can indeed. This is the challenge, I guess. They have just gone to another level, I think, in this second half, and potentially the depth of talent they've got in their squad. We're going to go attacking for these last few minutes. Let's see if we can't turn this around. I'm going to go demand more. We've immediately got a throw in here. Vela's again involved. Muhammad with the ball in. It's cleared away. Now Mansour coming forward. Ball to Herrera. He's got options to the right of him. Cabrera comes forward now. He scored twice from wide areas and he's done it again. Holy shit, Johor turned this game on its head. The way that we beat their reserve side earlier on in this episode, they've done it to us now in the second. I don't really care about the Malaysian Cup, to be honest. I don't think there's a European place online with it. If you are a Malaysian fan, please let me know. But holy crap, they have absolutely torched us here in the second half. And Hashimuddin, I think, could have done better again with his angles, but maybe he was a bit worried Cabrera was going to go near post, which is what he did to us a bunch of times in the first contest. 5 minutes to be added on, and we're through that now. So at full time, it's a 3-2 defeat after leading 2-0. I'm going to say I can't fault any performances. I'm not going to worry too much about the cup competition at the end of the year. Disappointing collapse. Jonathan Herrera gets the Man of the Match award, the 29-year-old Argentine forward/winger. It doesn't leave us in bad shape because we've actually got a little while before the next game. I think we will be able to rest a few people and get teams back out there. But before we go, we're going to have a quick look in the job center. Doesn't look like anything else has come up. The Gyeongnam job has come up in Korea. That would be a step up, even though it's second division. Maybe I'll throw in a sneaky application. Shit. Okay, so Sean in the mix has been sacked by Federal Land Development Authority United President Mohd Issa Abu Qasim. In the mix's continued quest to find a new job is believed to be the reason for him losing his job. It's the first job I've applied for since I got this one. What is that about? That is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where that has come from. All right, so I'm going to have to definitely be careful in the future about what jobs I apply for. So let's apply for all this Gyeongnam job. Let's apply for the Bali United job. Let's apply for the Dongwoo job. Honestly, like, that blows my absolute mind. I cannot believe that has happened. I'm unsuccessful in China, so I'm going to either wind up in Indonesia or in South Korea with Gyeongnam. Okay, well, I guess that settles the next episode for us. I'm going to be honest, I did not see that coming. A league title and a sacking, both in the same episode, that's not what I intended to happen. If I'd have known that, I probably wouldn't have hit that application button. But I guess that's a Pentagon challenge. That's what's going to happen. We're going to bounce around quite a little bit. I just figured out how to get the Felder United logo. Where corner is it? Up in that corner, and the Malaysian flag. They're only going to be in one thumbnail. That's absolutely ridiculous. But you guys are going to have to tune in next time to see where we land and when we end up heading into a new season. If you do want to continue celebrating the start to this series, which has been up and down already, you can drop a like on this video. You can subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all of our future videos, and also go and check out the reserve team as well for more of my video content over there. But more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.